We are live. Welcome to a very merry episode of the West Coast Draft Podcast. As always, it's Beau Gleason. We got Robbie choking in on line two. How you doing, Robbie?
Oh, I'm doing well. Ate a lot of food. I felt like I was gonna throw up all last night, but we're doing good now.
It's never a good feeling. It's how I was with leftovers today, honestly.
Mm,
Especially with all the good football there was to watch today. A little bit less yesterday, I won't lie. As both of you guys know, but we'll get to that. But on line one, guest of honor, Daniel Lisenbee. How are you doing, Mr. Lisenbee?
I'm good, man. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Black Friday. Had a very good turkey day. Yeah, I'm kind of feel you there with the kind of feeling nauseous after the leftovers. I had some like early lunchtime today. It's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of food, man. We had some good turkey this year though, so I'll take
That's good.
that.
You know what? The turkey is not always good. If you get a good turkey one year though, I mean, it feels like okay, this is a good year. This is a good year. Um, but we're in the holiday season now, my friends. We are officially past Thanksgiving,
I,
so that
I'm
means play the Christmas music.
I've been playing it since November 1st, man. But
Oh, there you go.
I will say
Oh, he's one
this.
of those guys.
Oh
Okay.
yes, oh yes. There's
Dude.
no Thanksgiving music. Thanksgiving is part of Christmas. Let's be real here. Um,
Oh man.
my family's been doing smoked turkey for a couple of years, and it's really, really good. But
Mhm.
other than that, I'm not a big turkey fan as well. So that's really helped it for me. And then I made for I think the fourth year in a row, the Russell Wilson mac and cheese. It's very good. You can
Nice.
find that recipe. Highly recommend. Very yummy.
Mhm. Here we go. Here's a holiday hot take that I just thought of on the spot. Thanksgiving is to Christmas what Memorial Day? Yeah, Memorial Day is to Fourth of July.
That's fun. I like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good
It's
one.
just yeah, I mean, one kicks off the summer, but before the big one there in kind of the middle, one kicks off the holiday season before the big one there kind of in the middle. I guess the difference
Hmm
is Christmas kind of closes the holiday season, unless you could consider New Year's part of it.
Thanksgiving uh is to Martin Luther King Day what Christmas is to Valentine's Day.
For my fellow Spaniards out there, the real holiday closer is Three Kings Day
Yep,
on
I know
January
that.
January
Mm,
6th. In Spain, that's really when most of the kids get all their presents on Three Kings
Put your
Day.
shoes out.
yep.
Exactly. Christmas is celebrated, but it's more formality than anything.
Hmm.
Three Kings, that's the big one.
Lame,
That's the
lame.
big one, boys.
I'm still
Christmas
figuring out this
clears.
Valentine's Day one. Like I'm doing the analogy on that. And I'm confused.
Well, I think Martin Luther King Day's earlier. That's all.
Oh, yeah. There you
I
go.
was trying to
Um,
meme.
I was let's see, fun facts. I was born on Martin Luther King Day, so I usually consider my birthday to be the closing of the holidays.
Oh,
Uh,
there we go. I
there
like
you go.
that.
Okay,
January
that's not
birthdays,
bad.
baby.
That's not bad.
Um, Speaking of things that make me holly and jolly, well, let's just say the NFL Week 11 was not one of those things, my friends. Um,
Me neither.
wasn't great. It wasn't great. Should we just get into it? Season's over, boys. Tank for Bowers, Harrison, Joe Alt, Olufashanu,
Rome.
Rome, Deserjon Newton, whoever. I don't.
Jared Newton would be fun. Yeah.
That would be fun.
I'd probably
Oh,
go a
that's.
tackle. I'd probably go
I'd
tackle.
probably go tackle. If Alt's there, he would be a plug and play right
Alt or
tackle
Fashanu are both
or
plug and play.
Falshano. Yeah, either one would be great. But point being, yeah, Bengals season's over. I'm excited for my former high school and college. Well, I was never a teammate with him in college, obviously. My former high school teammate Jake Browning, as well as former Husky legend Jake Browning, to be starting for the Bengals for the rest of the season. I'm excited, not optimistic, but excited. Because I mean, what's the best case scenario is he turns out to be a good backup. We win some games. Worst case, we lose out and we get a good draft pick.
Yeah.
Could be worse. Could be in worse spots. Could be the Browns. Um,
You're basically the Niners, how like every for a bit, like one year they were pretty solid, and then the next year they got Nick Bosa.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, I'll take that. I'll take that. Although there's too many bad teams at the top to probably catch up,
Mm.
but probably still get a top 10 pick. You can do a lot with the top 10 pick in a draft as good as this one's looking like it's going to be. So, I
I
think so. I think it's looking like it's going to be a great draft, at
don't
least
know. What
for
I'm seeing.
receivers.
Oh yeah, receivers is a great draft class. Receivers the best position group in the draft this year.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. We have past couple of years. There's not been too many blue chippers.
There's hardly any blue chippers on the defensive side ball this year, honestly.
Yeah, yeah, and like Kool-Aid's good and all, but he's not a blue chipper.
Yeah. Honestly, the reason I said Newton's because he's probably the closest thing there is to one, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
So, but we'll talk more about that in draft season. For the Bengals in
It is
this
draft season for the Bengals.
it is draft season for the
Oh,
Bengals, yeah. For the Bengals, I mean, yeah, season's pretty much toast. I mean, you're 5-5. Funny thing is, I shouldn't even say funny. What sucks is AFC looks like I mean, the Chiefs do not look like the world beaters we thought they'd be. Like, man, if the Bengals had found a way to win this game, which they were winning when Burrow got hurt, we'd be talking about them as a game behind Kansas City. They're not. It's not reality. And their season's now over because of one torn ligament in the wrist. So it sucks.
I'm
But
annoyed seeing the old Sewell versus Jamar picture because Jamar's been
Oh man.
undoubtedly much, and they've done a lot to make their O line better too. It's
yeah,
not just that their O line's pretty solid to be honest.
it's not that bad anymore, honestly. I mean,
It
it's not
has
great
been
or anything, but it's not that
no,
bad. It's
no.
not the problem anymore. The problem's kind of starting to, for many years it was you could pinpoint all the problems on the O line. Now it's like, now you gotta start looking at other places for where the problems lie, and it might be on Zach Taylor, Brian Callahan, Frank Pollock, the coaching staff.
Mm.
So,
You
There's
know,
so many there's so many crusty O lines now anyway, so you can't really
mhm.
pinpoint a lot of like there's like maybe 3 or 4 teams in the league that actually have a competent O line. So
Mhm.
like it's a problem for so many teams. You can't always pin the O line for everything
Yeah,
at this point.
If you're not Detroit, Philly, Kansas City, or who else?
Dallas, maybe?
Maybe Dallas.
last year before Lucas got hurt,
Yeah,
we were pretty solid. Um, well, and you don't make that Super Bowl run without Chase. If you have Sewell instead of
right,
Chase, you're not going to win the Super
right.
Bowl.
No, and yeah, bringing up Sewell is so irrelevant. I mean, it's irrelevant. I'm not even gonna entertain that. Oh, look, let there be light. Not even gonna entertain that discussion because it's
No,
not. No,
I was
Joe.
like,
I mean,
I was like, are we seriously doing this bullshit again?
no, exactly.
It was so dumb.
Jamar Chase is going to be the highest paid receiver in football after next offseason.
Yep.
Um, and rightfully so. Actually, if him and Jefferson get a contract right around the same time, I guess Jefferson would probably top his. But actually, maybe it doesn't matter. They're going to be teammates in a couple of years, anyways. But don't want to turn this into just a Bengals talk pod. The Ravens are now number one, and not only the AFC North, but the AFC. Congratulations. You got three
And
more
all of
weeks until
football.
Lamar gets hurt. And all of football, that's correct. Actually, no, I think Philly's only got the one loss, don't they?
Oh,
Baltimore's got three.
I'm taking just vibes.
Oh,
I
just
think they're the
vibes,
best
yeah.
team in football right now.
I agree. Enjoy that because you got three more weeks till Lamar gets hurt. Ayo, okay, on to the other AFC North matchup here. Pittsburgh and Cleveland. Now, this is some classic AFC North football, boys. Dorian Thompson. You know what's funny? And Steelers fired back Andrew after this game, and rightfully so. But I know what's really funny is there's people saying Kenny Pickett's the worst quarterback in football, like worse than Tommy DeVito, worse than Dorian Thompson Robinson, who was across
BS,
from him in
man.
this game, worse than Jordan Love. Although I
He
know
can Kenny
Daniel's
Pickett
probably
can
got
be
thoughts on
a
that after
solid
this.
Kenny Pickett can be a solid game manager. I really do
He's
think he can.
fine.
He's
He's
fine.
fine. He's bad. I mean, don't get me. He's been playing bad. I don't think he's the worst quarterback in football or anything like that.
He's
Like
not
there
the
was a
problem in that
graphic. There was
offense.
I don't know who put it out. It was either Fox or CBS, but there was this graphic that was like quarterbacks who have started games in the NFL this year or are in line to start games, and it was like Jake Browning, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, Tommy DeVito, Tim Boyle, Kenny Pickett. I'm like, Kenny Pickett? What is Kenny Pickett doing on this list? I thought we were going down a meme list. This is the
He's getting
actual
compared to
starting
Tim
quarterback of
Boyle.
Pittsburgh. Yeah, exactly.
What?
I
What?
was
Oh my
like,
God,
holy
man.
crap. Geez, man. So yeah,
Haters.
I'm Kenny Pickett haters are hey, don't get me wrong, as a Bengals fan, I'm kind of entitled to be a Kenny Pickett hater, but even I think the hate's gone a little too far. He's not terrible. He was terrible against on Sunday against the Browns, but to be fair, a lot of quarterbacks that go into Cleveland are. So yeah, I mean, as far as this game goes, I mean, Jalen Warren is the only competent Steelers offensive player by the looks of it. Um, DTR has not carried over his magical preseason to the regular season, but you kind of figured that'd be the case, going against starting defenses and a good starting defense in Pittsburgh, might I add. So yeah, there you go. There's Cleveland, Pittsburgh. Any thoughts on this one, boys?
The crappy
Same
game.
score as Nebraska Iowa today.
It was the same score as Nebraska, Iowa. I didn't even think about that. And
That's
you know
depressing,
what?
dude.
Just about as watchable.
Huh.
Actually, probably less watchable. At least
Less
the Nebraska
watchable.
Iowa game became absolute chaos at the end.
Yeah, that was awesome.
was-
I got up at 9 a.m. After my food coma to watch that.
That's one of the nice things about being on Mountain Time is I am not going to be awake for a Michigan Ohio State game at 9 tomorrow, but I will be
Lame.
on for one at 10 tomorrow.
Lame, you'd be up for it at 9. Don't lie.
I would be. I would be. I have in the past. This is my first year on Mountain Time, so I would have been.
Mhm.
But yeah, there we go. Let's go on to Danny Boy's reaction. I think the game he'll probably react a little bit more positively to. Not much more positively, but a little bit more positively too. And that's when the Chicago Bears traveled to Detroit to take on the Lions, the Martha Ford led Detroit Lions. Why don't you go ahead and give us your thoughts on their win over the Bears, Daniel?
Well, first of all, I think the Bears took our place as the NFL's biggest laughingstock just throughout the course of several years. And this game is kind of the microcosm of that. Like, I shut this game off, like, almost like about on the time the third quarter finished, I shut the game off. We were down by double digits at that point. And I was like, you know what? We turned the ball over 4 times. We're probably going to lose. I'm going to just go watch my show. I've been binge watching Shameless for the last couple months. I want to get caught up on some episodes. Come back to my phone and check the score, right? I'm checking it like periodically because I'm still just really curious about what's going on. And I see the Lions are marching back. It's 26-21. It's like, okay, maybe they can do something. Bears stall out next drive. Lions get the go-ahead touchdown. Hutch forces safety. And they somehow win this game, man. Like, Jared Goff sucked. He was really bad in that game. He had some moments, but like, I don't know, that first pick, I don't think was his fault. You could probably call that. If you go back and watch the replay, it could be like a DPI on, I don't remember Chicago's corner who was covering Laporta on a slant route, but could have called a DPI there. He bumped into Laporta, pretty much stopped the route from even developing, and then Goff, as a result, gets picked off by the other guy there. I don't know. Some people say that only one of the picks was his fault. I didn't really. One of them definitely was his fault. I didn't see the third pick. I'm trying to think what else. Like, yeah, definitely I have a lot more thoughts about the Thanksgiving game. We will get to that because I think that game is a little bit more telling on how a lot of these teams kind of are throughout the course of the season. I think with this game, honestly, what this Lions Bears game tells me is that Detroit is competent. Like, they had a terrible game, but they were still able to be resilient enough to win it. And Chicago is horrendous. They are the new same old Lions. You can call them the same old Bears now. Because they lose, they find new ways to lose. Their coaches get way too conservative. They're not letting Justin Fields really do his thing. They kind of let him do his thing for a couple drives, and then they, kind of stifle him a little bit. Maybe he shouldn't have danced on our field, but that's neither here nor there. Yeah, honestly, not much to say. It's the result itself is what you expect, but the way we got there isn't. it's not exactly the way you'd expect us to get there. Like I said, like I think lost the turnover battle like -4. We're the first team since like I think since they kept track of this stuff that actually won a game with a -4 turnover differential. And all that proves to me is the brand new Lions are here and Chicago.
Chicago is the new Detroit.
They are, man. They
Print that on
really
the
are.
shirt.
Good teams find ways to win. They
That's
find
true.
ways to win.
Yeah, I mean, pretty trying to say better myself.
And shout out Monty for the go-ahead touchdown.
There you go. Against his former team too. Even better.
Exactly.
Even better. No better situation. Put that in. Also too, wait, hold on. Daniel, I know this is quite a few weeks behind, but you weren't on the Thursday NFL pod the week we did this. What are your thoughts on the Lions blue helmets?
They're beautiful, man. I love them. I hope next year the NFL lets us combine the blue helmets with the full blue outfit. I think Goff dubbed them the blueberries. So a lot of us call it the blueberries now. If you can wear
I like
blue
that.
helmets with the blueberries, that would look sick, man. I hope
Yeah.
because the NFL they don't let us combine alternate helmets with
Regular
I think it's
jerseys.
like main home jerseys right now. But if they change the rules for next year, then I hope that the Lions put it together, like put that whole uniform together. It'll look so nice, man.
You can apply for a waiver for that. Actually, I learned this
Okay.
year because the Bengals got that to do it with their current all white away uniforms instead of like the
Okay.
old color rush uniforms. So you can apply for a waiver.
Okay.
Fun fact.
I hope they do that then.
Moving forward here, unless you have any thoughts on this one, Mr. Robert.
Nope. I think Daniel said a lot of what I was thinking too.
He's the Lions insider, so we'll
Oh
trust his
yeah.
call on it.
Sir.
We want LA, Green Bay, man, a battle of two first-round quarterbacks from the 2020 draft. Packers found a way to win it. Wasn't always pretty, was not always pretty, but man, that Chargers defense is bad. Those Chargers receivers are bad. That Chargers coaching staff is bad.
I
That's
can't
not
believe Staley hasn't gotten fired yet.
the Chargers are just a bad
Bro.
football team being carried by an elite quarterback at this point.
Did
Like
you guys
everything
see
else about the team's bad.
did you guys see Staley's presser?
Oh yeah, where he got heated because someone asked him if he was going to
Yeah.
give up defensive play calling. Jeez, it's toxic down there right now.
This
Chargers
is
fell
pretty
off
funny though.
hard. Yeah, it's weird to think the Chargers might have peaked the year they blew a 28-point lead in the AFC wild card round to the Jacksonville Jaguars. What are they at now? 4-6. 4-6 with games still left against the Raiders, a surprisingly hot Broncos team, Bills, Broncos again, and Chiefs. Like, shoot, man, you might be looking at least 4 losses there, probably. They're already 4-6.
Time to bring
Looking
an
at
offensive coach.
best a 7-10 Chargers team, which is just ridiculous considering how much talent that team has. And it's not getting younger. Austin Eckler's not getting younger. Keenan Allen's not getting younger. Mike Williams isn't getting healthier. Quentin Johnson isn't getting
Good.
able to isn't getting good. So it's a weird situation.
There's not too many
there.
big offensive minds out there though.
They should have Brian Callahan.
Who's he coaching at? Cincy?
Yeah, he's the Bengals OC.
Yeah, you just want him gone. What
Um,
about Shane Waldron?
Yeah, you want Shane Waldron. Actually, you know what's funny? I was talking to another Seahawks fan today. Shoot, what was he?
You're cheating on me?
I was. No, oh, you know what? He this was his if they move on from Pete, because just move on, new era. Head coach Mike McDonald, Ravens DC, OC Ryan Grubb.
I could get behind that. I want to hate it.
I was watching your face as I was saying Mike McDonald, and you were just like, and I said Ryan Grubb, and you're like, it was like the one meme.
Oh yeah, yep, with that girl. Yeah.
So
I don't know.
yeah.
I'd like to maybe have an offensive coach next. But
And that was my first reaction. But if you
those
could
are
get
two guys
Grubb,
I
that'd be
like though.
fun. Yeah, Grubb would be fun. Bring him up to the league, see what he can do before a college team can get to him.
Hmm.
The
I don't know
coaching
if he's.
carousel
I don't.
starts on Sunday, my friend.
Well, Smith's going to Sparty, so
Is that
where's Grubb realistically gonna go?
Seattle Seahawks?
Beeves, but I bet
Beefs,
they
yeah, Beefs.
I bet they promote what's the DC's name? I bet they try to promote him, give him the
Was
job.
Jonathan Smith the Sparty like official? Well,
Not
not
official, but
official,
all but.
but like all but okay, cool. I saw a bunch of tweets about it, so I wasn't sure if it's like happening or
There's been smoke
um
for a week.
gotcha. Okay. Um well there you go. I don't know why we started talking about that. Oh yeah, because we were talking about offensive head coach. But anyways,
Like I don't think Ben Johnson would be the best fit for
no,
Herbert.
no. Trying to think,
Nah,
is there
man.
like
Ben
maybe
Ben
Todd
Johnson's such a
Monken?
terrible guy.
Todd
He's such a
Monken could be fun. Todd Monken
Yeah.
could be fun.
Yeah, Ben Johnson's a terrible guy. I think he should finish his career in Detroit because he deserves to rot there.
exactly.
Yeah, there's not a big
He
deep
deserves to stay
bench
with
of
Goff forever.
offensive coaches right now. There's not a
Same
big
with
bench.
Lou Anarumo in Cincinnati. Do you see how far that defense has fallen off? He should stay
Ooh,
there forever. um, but no, you're right. There's that. Yeah, I mean, there's not like a bunch of like young up and coming offensive minds like
they've
just
all been
ready.
poached.
They've all been poached except for Bieniemy. So
He's
we'll
not
see.
young.
I mean, that's true. He's not young. You're right. He's not young.
I'll be fair.
Kellen Moore.
He's done a pretty good. He's already there.
Yeah, I know.
He's
Maybe
gonna
for the
get the
last few
interim
weeks.
chance. Give
Yeah,
him the interim
cut
chance.
Staley, give
Give him
more
a
of the interim
chance. No, I think
chance.
we already said that. We already thought about that.
Mm-hmm.
Give
That's
Matt
what
Nagy another
Washington should
go.
do. Washington should do that same thing, actually, but it's a different
Bieniemy, hey,
conversation.
for all my doubts about Bieniemy away from Reed, he's done a really solid job with Howell.
Yeah, no, he's not. I mean, Howell's not the problem. That O line is just absolutely atrocious. Um,
They
Howell's
let
been
Howell
fine.
cook.
Yeah, Howell's been fine. Um, as for the Packers, I mean, I don't know. I guess there's two Packers wins to talk about this week, so congrats on beating the Chargers and Lions. Yeah, poor Justin Herbert. I bet he's wishing the ink wasn't already dry on that contract extension. Just kidding. I'm sure he loves LA. Let's be real. Most people who go there do.
Imagine being the best quarterback in LA.
You're the dude. Too bad you're not the dude for the team, but you are the dude.
Are the Rams the team though? To be honest,
Not over the Chargers. The
over
Raiders are
the
LA's
Chargers,
team.
yes, over the
The
Chargers.
Raiders are LA's team.
Yeah,
They always will be.
Raiders and 49ers to some extent too.
Yeah, to some extent. Speaking of the Raiders, look at that. Nice segue. They go to Miami and actually put up quite a good fight with the Dolphins.
I see.
Yeah, they were up for points of this game. Just Aiden O'Connell couldn't finish the job, couldn't deliver, but I mean,
AOC for president.
yeah. Yeah, he was all right. He was yeah. Not much to talk about with this game, to be quite honest. The better team won. They're at home, probably closer than it should have been. Raiders have been feisty since they they would have been 3-0 under Antonio Pierce if they won this game. And then they came close at some points to making it happen. But fall to 2-1. Yeah. Any thoughts on this one, guys?
Oh man. Dolphins are a good team.
Tyreek Hill's a stud.
Mm-hmm.
Shocker.
I bet Chiefs are very much regretting that decision.
Yeah. Especially although I mean they did get Trent McDuffie pretty much out of that trade, so that worked.
I thought that was
helped.
Karlaftis.
I think they got actually no, I think they traded up with
they had two firsts.
Yeah, and I think they traded up with the pick they got from Miami.
You're right.
So worked out. McDuffie might be the best corner in football right now. So
dog. I mean, if we stayed last year, we're in the CFP.
Yeah.
Don't blame him for leaving, especially when Juice is your coach.
So moving forward here, we've got
Tommy
Giants and
DeVito.
commies. Tommy DeVito. Man, we got two Commanders losses to talk about too. This is so funny when we got like multiple Thursday games and Friday games, and it's like, oh wow, since we last spoke, the Dolphins have won 2 games and the commies
Mm.
have lost 2 games, and yeah,
Honestly, I really forgot, for all the marketing, I really forgot about the Black
I
Friday
didn't watch the
game.
Black Friday
Me
game. I
neither. Me
missed it.
neither.
I won't
I
have a lot of
watched I
analysis.
watched Nebraska versus Iowa.
I watched the Hail Mary. I did see the Hail Mary. That was funny. That was great. But yeah, Tommy DeVito finally got a win. All you had to do is take on the team that the Giants seem to have the number of for some
Hmm.
reason, even though the commies aren't even that bad and the Giants are horrible. The Giants complete the sweep. So congrats to them for that.
Tommy DeVito, the GOAT.
Tommy DeGoat Goto. Tommy
Mom's
DeGoto.
taking good care of him.
That is a good point. Doesn't have to pay for his food. He gets that home cooking
Mrs.
nutrition.
DeVito, MVP. Mama DeVito.
Mama DeVito. Wish Mama DeVito would cook me Thanksgiving dinner, honestly. That would be nice. I bet that was a great Thanksgiving meal.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
what do they think they had? It's probably some Italian stuff, honestly.
Well, in watching the Seahawks Niners game last night, I think one player said their favorite dish was spaghetti, and I think it was Bobby Wagner.
Bobby, man. Go the CT catches up to all of us. I get it. I get it. That's a terrible take, though. Spaghetti on Thanksgiving? Come on,
I
dog.
know, I know. I was like, and everyone in the whole family were watching was like, "Come on, that's not a
Terrible.
Thanksgiving." Like, everyone else had normal answers, and he said, like macaroni and cheese, that's fine, but spaghetti, I
Yeah.
don't know about
Yeah,
that.
everyone knows the family member breaks the baked mac and cheese, and it's like this may not be a traditional Thanksgiving dish, but
I think it
respect.
is now. It is now.
Yeah, it's kind of moved into like the green bean casserole tier, I think, where
Yeah.
it's not one you immediately think of, but it's one that's always appreciated when you do see it.
Mm.
Um, but anyways, getting to back to New York and Washington. Yeah, Washington needs to figure out what the hell they want to do, man. Do they want to just suck, or do they want to be a competitive football team that can take a lot of like teams down to the wire? I mean, because think about this. They did get swept by both Philly and New York, but they took Philly to the
Hmm.
wire in both of those games. Yeah, they took New York to the wire in the first game, but they got destroyed by them in this one. This is a horrible New York football team. So they just need to figure out what they want to be, I think.
I think they're trying to compete, but they just suck.
But they just don't have the
Hmm.
talent to compete. Yeah, I think you're right. I think
Trading
you're right.
Young and Sweat hurts them.
Yeah, but then they what? I guess it was the Patriots. They beat the Patriots, who might be in the driver's seat for Caleb Williams right now.
Oh man, they
That's
gotta
kind
fire
of
Belichick. They gotta fire Belichick. You
yeah.
can't give him to Belichick.
Um,
You gotta get a real offensive coach there.
yeah, like Matt Patricia.
Monken to New England.
Todd Monken with Caleb Williams would be freaking insane,
That
dude.
would be pretty good.
Actually, that'd be fun. That'd be fun. Ah, man, an AFC East with Todd Monken, Caleb Williams, Josh Allen, Mike McDaniel, and Tua, and then whatever goes on in New York. If it's Aaron Rodgers, that's great. It'll be Aaron Rodgers next year. It's a fun division for quarterbacks, that's for sure. But
Speaking of Patriots though, those Tom Brady comments.
oh
I'm not
yeah,
seeing the excellence I saw when I was playing. You played in a dog shit AFC East with 6 free wins a year for 20 years. Shut the hell up. You know how many wins that is?
over
That's
20,
120
120.
free
Yeah.
wins. Shut the hell up about that.
Like I will admit, I kind of got Tom Brady's point. Like I get what he's saying,
Yeah.
but on the same token, he was in a division with Trent Edwards, with Vinny Testaverde, Chad Pennington, Chad
Like part
Henne.
of a big reason for their historic run was their division being historically awful, except then for a historically long period of time. It was so weird.
Yeah. They got blessed with how many wild card games did they have to play in 20 years? Not very many.
I can't think of
Not very
many.
many. No.
There were
Okay.
those couple of Rex Ryan years with the Jets where the Jets were pretty
Mm,
competitive.
that's true. That's true.
Yeah. But um yeah, granted, actually, I guess Brady did play in wild card games in all 3 years he played in Tampa. So that argument kind of goes out the window there. But he only
Well, he
won
was
one
actually in
ring.
a competitive division.
Yeah, he only won one ring there, which is still more than most people can say, I suppose. Um, yeah, let's see. It's a good thing we talked New England there because they had a bye this week. So shout out the Patriots. They got talked about on their bye week. That's how you know you're a historic franchise right there. Um, moving forward to speaking of actual historic franchise, we got the Carolina Panthers take on some team called the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys pulled off a big upset here. I mean, 33-10 win over the powerhouse Carolina. Okay, I can't keep going. No, yeah, this was it's a bloodbath as we all expected it to be. I mean, what was the line in this game? A big number to a
Big
little
number.
number,
Big
and
number.
didn't
Cowboys are
work
good
out.
against bad teams.
Yeah, did not work out. Yep.
Yeah, unless you're the Cardinals, then
Unless you're
apparently
the
you lose.
Cardinals. That's true. That's true. Um, I would even argue, I don't know, the Cowboys have been playing good football as of late. I know it's the joke is oh, they only beat bad teams. And I mean, if you look at their wins, it's hard to argue against that, but they gave the Eagles a freaking run like 3 weeks ago. Like it's easy to forget that.
And
Niners game
I'd
is
kill to play the
obviously
Giants
ugly.
twice.
Yeah, I'd go play the Giants twice too, and the Commies twice for that matter. The rest of their slate, not very easy. No, don't get me wrong. It's a other than the Commies again, tough slate less the rest of the way. But shoot, man, I might favor the Cowboys in all these games right now. It'll be tight. It'll be tight. It'll be close. But they're playing good football right now. They're definitely playing good football. As for the Panthers, yikes. Okay. Wait, any thoughts on this one? Sorry, I didn't want to skip over that.
100% right.
Yep.
Tennessee, Will Levis. The Will Levis train is officially fallen off the tracks. I'm sorry, Rob.
Give him time. Tough
Yeah,
team to play against.
he's a young guy, man. He's gonna get better. He
Oh
still
no,
has
I,
potential.
I I don't mean it in the sense that he's playing poorly. I mean in the sense that it's just like
Oh.
the hype train is a little bit more dead than it was when they beat Atlanta. Which, maybe creating a hype train off of one game against Atlanta might have been a little jumping the gun there, but hey, credit where credit's due. He played great in that game, and I mean, yeah, he's played a couple tough teams now. Went into Pittsburgh, almost beat them on Thursday Night Football. Went to Tampa, did not almost beat them. Went into Jacksonville and also did not. Maybe he's just avoid Florida. Doesn't seem like he has a good time when he goes to Florida.
Hmm.
I wonder how he did against the Gators in his career at Kentucky. Hold on, I need to look this up.
They probably lost to them last year if they played them.
Um, 2022 Kentucky Wildcats. Hey, while I'm talking about this, or while I'm Googling this, I want to get your guys' thoughts on this game here.
Jacksonville's good. Tennessee's bad.
Jacksonville's hitting their stride. They're hitting their stride.
Yeah.
Had a
Which
tough
is
game
funny.
against
I
the
mean, this is a
Niners.
week after they got absolutely slaughtered by San Francisco. So it was a good
Good bounce
comeback
back.
win here. Yep, good bounce back for sure. Oh, they did win at Florida in
Wow.
2022. So maybe
That's surprising.
it's just a 1 year thing. Maybe he is able to 2020. Was he even their starting quarterback in 2020? I know he was in 2021, but they didn't play at
Oh
Florida.
no, because he was at Penn State in 2020.
Was he? Okay,
Yeah.
there you go. Yeah, there you go. In that case, yeah, he only played one game in Gainesville and he won it. So I guess it's not a Florida problem for him. It's just a NFL teams in problem Florida for him. Or NFL teams in Florida problem. There you go. Jacksonville is playing really good football though. At the moment, they need to forget that game they played against San Francisco because that was ugly. Speaking of ugly, it's like about two teams that actually aren't playing ugly football right now that we thought would be, and that's the Arizona Cardinals and the Houston Texans. Kyler's back, baby.
They got a
Doesn't
lot of
matter
fight,
though.
man.
Yeah, they're. I mean,
They've been
they've
standing
always
all
been
year.
spunky, but now they've actually got a talented quarterback leading the way too. So,
You could see the rust on him.
oh, for sure, for sure. But he's been making some plays since he came back.
Houston might be a sneaky playoff contender, guys.
I don't
Sneaky.
even think that's fair. I think they're in it, man. I would be surprised if they don't make it at this point. The way they're playing,
They're not sneaky. They're not sneaky anymore.
Y'all
no,
think y'all think they got a
they've
shot
been
at the division?
That'll be tough.
uh,
They got an
it'll
easier
be what are
schedule.
they 6-4 now?
Yeah.
6-4. They played Jacksonville, who they already beat once. I think it's Jacksonville 7-3, I believe. Yeah,
I think so,
Jacksonville
yeah.
7-3. This weekend, Houston plays Jacksonville in Houston. If they win, they have significant tiebreaker because they beat them twice, and they
Easier
both be
schedule.
7-4. That's big.
Easier
big one.
schedule.
And an easier schedule. That is very true. Yeah, they get last place schedule, and Jacksonville gets first place schedule. Although, have they already benefited from that last place schedule? How many more last place teams do they get? They play the whole AFC North. They get the Broncos, the Jets. They get the Titans twice. That's nice. You get a Colts team without Anthony Richardson versus the
Excuse me, guys.
Jaguars, where we're looking at
Yeah. Oof. Oof. That's tough.
Texans, Browns, Ravens.
At the Bucks.
The fact that they still have their Ravens game on the docket, and the Texans have already gotten it out of the way. That definitely helps the Texans for sure. I actually don't see a lot of losing games for either of those teams on that schedule left. So it'll come down to the wire. But yeah, Houston might be right back winning it. But yeah, Houston's a good football team. They're good too. CJ Stroud, Tank
So
Dell,
good.
my guy, my old draft crush, man. He's making me look
Can't
very,
believe you didn't
very
take him in the
smart.
rookie draft.
Can't believe I didn't either. That was a mistake. Can't
Well,
believe I took
no one
Zach
did. I picked
Charbonnet
him off
over him.
waivers.
Can't believe I took Zach Charbonnet over Tank Dell. It was the Houston factor, man. If he was drafted by Kansas City, I would have picked him.
And then you dropped him too.
And I dropped. Well, that was me trying to be like sneaky with the waiver wire, and it didn't end up working
You
out.
should have known better than that.
It's okay. I'm actually not tripping about losing Charbonnet, but that's okay. Yeah. Moving forward here, Tampa, San Fran. I know Daniel's got to get going, so we'll try to go through the rest of the recap a little bit faster. Other than that Seattle LA game, I'm sure I'll have thoughts. Mr. Robert will have thoughts on that, but Tampa and San Fran, better football team, won pretty handily. I don't know, not a whole lot to go over here. San Francisco's playing really good ball right now, as we saw on Thanksgiving as well. Firm control over the NFC West at this point. What are they? 8-3? No, 7. No, 8-3. Yeah, they're 8-3. Seattle falls to 6-5. Yeah, so 2-game lead. Yeah. San Francisco's got a pretty solid.
They got it locked up.
Yeah. Jets going to Buffalo. Look at that. Buffalo scored 32 points. Shout
Right
out
after firing Dorsey.
Joe Brady coming in and cooking already. What a first game being the OC for a
Who's
confident
surprised that
offense.
Joe Brady can actually call an offense and wasn't the problem in Carolina? No way.
No, he was majorly scapegoated there. Majorly scapegoated. I wish the Bengals would have brought him in, but that's okay.
Well, that was our
He's
old thing was
Make
week
Joe Brady
3,
the head coach.
2019,
Yep.
Joe
Should
Brady
have
head
made
coach. Or week 3,
yeah, that
2020, was it? I think it might have been
probably
2020.
it's week 3, 2020. Or no, it's probably or it was most of the 2021 offseason too, when we thought the Bengals were gonna suck and that Taylor was on his last legs, and then they
Hmm.
end up going to the Super Bowl. So it's great to see how the NFL works like that. But hey, maybe the Texans maybe we're not talking about the Texans as a sneaky playoff team. We're talking about them as a sneaky Super Bowl pick.
They got the quarterback for it.
They got
They
the
got a fun
quarterback for it.
offense.
Nah, man, not his rookie year, bro.
Oh, man.
No
It's gonna be
way.
tough for them because lack of playoff experience. So it'll probably be like Seahawks 2012 is what I could see.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're similarly built team.
Pete Carroll ice away from the NFC title game.
Yeah.
Never
Yep.
ever ice the kicker. I'm very against icing kickers. I think it doesn't work. The math says it doesn't work.
Yeah. Um, from a Jets standpoint, this game got Zach Wilson benched.
Not benched, third stringed.
Third strings, even worse. Tim Boyle, rough. All right, Seattle, LA,
All right,
take it
give me the
away,
floor for this
Rob.
bad boy. Well, actually, we didn't have an episode, but I actually was going to pick us to lose this, and
Mm.
it feels like the game went almost exactly the same as the last one. For opening drive score looked super easy. The rest of the first half offense was pretty good, and defense looked a lot better than the first game. But then horribly mismanaged second half, and we don't run the ball at all in the second half. And Drew Lock goes in for a drive and he passes a bunch of times. It's just maddeningly bad. It's time to say goodbye to our dear friend Mr. Waldron. Um, it's not working. It's just the play calling's not the design too. It's just not where it needs to be. Um, we should not have been swept by this year's Rams. That is very embarrassing. It wasn't the defense's fault, in my opinion. Pete Carroll is now 5-10 against the Rams under McVay. Um, and they've made a big point of, oh my gosh, we picked up Trevor Siemian off the Rams practice squad or whatever. He's going to be the
Mhm.
secret weapon, and then that happened. So embarrassing, very embarrassing.
Yeah, I watched this game actually. Well, I watched the most of it. Seahawks, they felt like they were in control, but they could just never pull away, and the
Hmm.
Rams just eventually clawed back into it. Kicked their got the lead, and Seahawks had a chance for a game-winning field goal at the end, and it was a deep field goal. It wasn't like a gimme or anything, but yeah, just kind of a feels like a
Absolutely, he
microcosm.
didn't even get close. He
Yeah,
hit it bad or something. I don't know what happened.
yeah.
Um, Shout out to Russell, #1 viewer, was at the game. Had a good time at
Oh,
SoFi. I'm pretty sure I saw him on the TV.
very nice, very nice. Well, kind of a microcosm of the entire Seahawks season here, where it felt like they started good. Um,
Did we
Defense
start good
played
though?
well. Okay, outside of the Rams game, he started 3-1, and we're cooking. At one point,
Y'all were
had
6-2
control
at
of
one
the
point.
AFC North, or not AFC North, NFC West. Now I'm projecting. NFC West, things were
With
going
with
well.
how our schedule is, this was a must win and inexcusable. Pete's not gone until Jody's gone, unless he decides to retire now. But
Mhm.
it's time to give someone else a go. Time to give someone else a shot because it's the same thing. This roster's too talented to look like this. It really is.
Are they 6-8 in 3 weeks, you think?
I think they'll steal a win and be 7-7.
There you go. I like the optimism. Um,
It's the NFL. It can happen.
that's true. That is true. Minnesota and Denver. Daniel, the
Oh yeah.
Sean Payton, Russell Wilson saved you from having a rough week here with the other NFC North teams. So
Save me from an aneurysm.
yeah,
Dude, the whole Josh Dobbs astronaut shit. You know what that reminds me of? Tebow
What?
Mania
it's all
Mm.
Tebow mania.
Tebow
from
Yeah,
was bigger.
2011. Like the NFL is trying to like push this like fringe quarterback. You got some entertainment factor, whatever. So I lovingly called this the Tebow Derby. Minnesota at Denver. And bro, Denver, they played like assholes for most of this game. And then Russell Wilson had a sick go-ahead touchdown throw to Cortland Sutton.
It was nice. It was really nice.
I just felt relieved. And then when the Vikings couldn't get down the field, I was relieved, man. I honestly, for a second, I thought the Vikings were just gonna run the table because that would just be my team's luck. But no, man, I lost to Denver. The Broncos saved
it's
me.
Denver.
Russell
Lost to
Wilson's looking
Denver.
good.
Russell Wilson is looking good. I mean, it's finally they've been playing good football a year, and it's finally turning to wins. I mean, 5-5, but 4 wins are they were 1-5 at one point. They barely scraped by the Bears for that one win, and now they're 5-5, and they've got a bunch of winnable games left here on the schedule. Like, not saying they're gonna win out or anything, but hey, Browns is winnable. Texans is tough, but winnable. Chargers winnable. At Lions is tough. Patriots
Hmm.
winnable. Chargers again winnable. Raiders winnable. I mean, like, honestly, only two of those games that I even say I thought would be tough for them. Browns will probably be tough, but at least they get at home. So,
They got three straight road games.
yeah,
Oh man.
yeah, that they do. That they do. That's a tough stretch you have to do there. At least you got the Chargers. I guess they got a home game when they go to LA. At least in front of the home fans, at least. No, Denver's playing good. They can make a sneaky run for the playoffs.
Hmm.
They could sneak in there. Probably sneak into that spot that Cleveland's currently occupying. Or Pittsburgh, one of the
That's
two.
wild to me that the Browns are have a playoff spot right now.
Wow, they're 7-3. They're gonna fall off. They're gonna fall off. I mean, yeah, they gotta. Actually, they don't really have that tough of a remaining schedule, honestly. It's crazy. They're gonna get stomped by whoever they play in the first round of the playoffs if they don't fall off record wise. But DTR doesn't look good, so I assume he eventually will. But anyways, enough of my Browns hate. Yeah, there you go. Broncos playing well. Vikings fell finally back down to earth. Have not seen a Pasternaut tweet this week, so there you go. There's a win for you, Daniel. Um,
Good.
any thoughts on this one, Rob?
Russ is back. He's back.
He's
Primetime Russ.
back. Sam Russ is back. There
Mr.
we go.
Unlimited.
Mr. Unlimited. Be careful though. It's spicy.
We all gonna get danger witches. Oh man, there's a pod idea. We all get danger witches. Or they even still have those.
No, and
Hopefully
when
they
I
do.
tried to get one, they didn't have it last year.
I got it once. I was able to successfully
How
get it
was it?
once. It was pretty good, actually. I won't lie. It was pretty good.
No, I wanted one. I want to. We'll make our own danger witches.
Mm. We'll get the recipe and we'll make our own
Be
and we'll be
careful
chilling.
though. It's spicy. Did you guys ever see the version where like a girl's like kidnapped during the commercial? It like fits super
I did
well.
see that. I did
And,
see
and she's
that.
like, hey, I've done something dangerous before. Want to know? No, no, no. It's pretty good.
And then we'll finally close off week 11 here with the Super Bowl rematch between Philly and Kansas City. Good game. Good game. A little ugly on both sides of the ball, actually. I think both
Hmm.
teams definitely didn't play their A game here, but Philly, when Philly needed to make a play, they did. And when Kansas City needed to make a play, they threw the ball to Marquez Valdez-Scantling, and they got exactly what you'd expect.
It was overthrown.
It was overthrown. I will give it was slightly overthrown, but it was catchable.
That's fair.
Kansas City's receivers and O-line are just going to hold them back so much. It's like,
They can't draft receivers.
no, they've sucked it. Outside Tyreek Hill, they've sucked at drafting receivers. They never found like a competent guy to across from them. Like they've like Mecole Hardman, they
Could have
tried
taken
and
DK.
could have taken DK. Could have taken DK, could have taken Deontay Johnson. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, shoot.
Terry McLaurin. Oh, he'd be
Instead, they they
good in
they,
that system.
they could have had AJ Brown instead of trading for
AJ
Frank Clark.
went. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know if they win 2019 without Frank Clark though.
That's true. That's true. But yeah, good point there. But yeah, I forgot Terry McLaurin was in the third round of that draft too.
I was a big Terry McLaurin table pounder. I was
Oh,
pissed that we took
I was
DK instead of
big
him.
Terry McLaurin fan. I was a big DK guy though too. I liked that pick when it happened.
It aged well, but I wanted Terry. I think Terry's the better overall receiver.
I think so too. I think so too. But DK is just such a physical freak that when he's on,
Hmm
he's
I
just
mean,
unstoppable.
it's of course what Pete Carroll wanted.
Yep. Yep. He took off his shirt after all.
That
So
was an all time reveal when they showed that.
yeah.
And then they also would like I remember like Sauce Gardner was like talking shit about the Seahawks or something. It was like Pete Carroll got all close to me in our interview and blah 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 blah. And so the Seahawks Twitter posted a picture of their interview and like they're super far away.
That's great.
And I think like someone, like that like meme of like the emoji getting all close to you, with the hands. Someone made a
Mhm.
picture of that, but with Pete Carroll's face. It's like POV Sauce Gardner.
Um, from a Philly side of things, I mean, good win. I mean, you go
Hmm
into Arrowhead and win. That's never gonna be easy.
Not
I mean,
Arrowhead, Browning
Browning
head.
head,
Yeah,
Browning
Browning
head.
head.
If Jake Browning, I don't care. Look in the Bengals schedule. Okay, I do not care if we win a single game. I just want to make that clear. If we win, finish 5-12, whatever. But man, how sweet would it be to win this game and this game with Jake
Hmm
Browning? Oh man, if Jake Browning goes to Arrowhead and wins, man,
It will be
build the
Browning head.
statue. Build
Build
the
a statue.
statue. Make it Browning head, baby. Um, Honestly, if we're being serious, if things go about how I expect them to, AJ McCarron will probably be the starter at that point. But
He looked good in the XFL.
he did look good in the XFL. But I'm gonna choose to believe in Jake Browning. Don't take it. You don't have to take us to the playoffs, man. Just look competent, and that's okay. Look like a competent backup of the future, and I'll be happy. Um, look like Josh Dobbs, and I'll be happy. Um, but yeah, Philly goes into Browning head, gets a big win. Yeah, defense.
Good for them. Feel
Yeah,
Chiefs have fallen off. They've
yeah.
fallen off,
That
man.
offense. I mean, again, their tackles, Smith and Taylor, are just both bad.
Hmm
They still have a great interior offensive line. Don't get me wrong, but that only takes you so far. Kelsey's distracted as hell, obviously. And it's still a good player, but distracted as hell. And their receivers
And
are
he's aging. He's finally showing
aging.
age.
Mark and the receivers are Marquez Valdez-Scantling, Rasheed Rice, who has not been terrible for him, but Kadarius
Kadarius Tony.
Tony, Justin Watson. It's not good. Like
Yeah,
that
and then
offense is
the tight
concerning.
ends behind Kelsey are not any good.
Oh
Not any
yeah,
good.
yeah. So man, Casey looks very, very vulnerable right now, and I'm pissed off. This is the year Burrow had to get hurt. I'll just say that. But yeah, any closing thoughts on NFL Week 11 here? I know Daniel has to get going, but he wanted to give his thoughts on the incredible game that was
Thanksgiving,
Lions
Turkey Day.
Packers first. But I'll go ahead before we do that. Any closing thoughts on Week 11?
Meh.
Yeah,
Not for
I wouldn't.
you.
Even, I
Tragic.
would. I would barf actually. Barf emoji. Actually, it's funny. Joe Burrow tore his ACL playing in Washington in 2020 week 11. So from here on out, the Bengals should never be allowed to play in the state of Maryland week 11. Okay, there you go. That's
I
my
didn't
thought.
know his first year he tore it that late.
Yeah, it was week 11.
I thought he tore it pretty early.
Nah, he was, yeah, about mid-season. It was like right after the bye week too. Everyone was all excited, and then it's like, oh, we got a pretty winnable game in Washington. We might be able to make something this season. Nope.
Hmm
So yeah. All right. All right, take it away, Danny boy. It's all you.
All right, man. Get some popcorn. Let's gonna be a fun one. But
Yeah.
before I get to my team, I do want to give a shout out to the Green Bay Packers. I do want to credit them for having a pretty good game plan, really good game plan actually going into the game. Matt LaFleur wins the coin toss. They elect to receive right away, 50-yard bomb to Christian
Hmm.
Watson. Their intent there is, we're going to come out, we're going to match your aggression. In a way, Matt LaFleur kind of beat Dan Campbell at his own game, which I don't know if I've really seen before because a lot of coaches are pretty reluctant to be that aggressive. But LaFleur came as close as anybody to do it, and it gave Jordan Love some confidence in that first drive, and they were able to get a touchdown. And then second drive, they were able to do the same thing, go down the field, get a touchdown, just with some aggressive play calling. Christian Watson getting a lot more involvement than he has throughout the majority of this season. And before you know it, Green Bay's got a 23-6 lead. And it's all because they were aggressive from the jump. They really kind of uppercut this Lions team. I don't think the Lions came out low energy. I think it was more the Packers came out so high energy that I don't think
Hmm.
any team would have been able to expect that. So I don't really blame the Lions coming out poorly. I knew the Lions are going to show up, have some energy for a Thanksgiving game, and I think they did do that. I don't think that's what their
Hmm.
problem was. I think the main thing from this game, honestly, Green Bay just sucker punched us so badly in that first quarter. Like, we can get lucky with a -4 turnover differential, but you're not going to win every game like that. I think the Lions in this game were like -3. You're not going to win every game doing that. You're just
And
not
one
going
went for a
to.
touchdown too. Bad
And one
luck.
exactly, and it was fumble recovery for a touchdown. So yeah, you can't win consistently like that. So yeah, before I get into the Lions, I wanted to shout out Green Bay. I want to show my respect for my most hated rival, despite my hatred for the Packers. They played a great game, man, and Jordan Love had a nice game. Matt LaFleur, give him man of the match for this game, dude. He honestly, Matt LaFleur gets a lot of crap, rightfully so, but I think he coached this game really well, and I hope that Packers fans are giving him credit because he did do really well. He came out with a good game plan. I think he low key hates the Lions, like really hates us. Like he low key was about to cry when we beat them back in Lambeau, a few months ago.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he kind of got his comeuppance. So good to see him. Good to see him do that.
He set the tone with that first play deep shot.
Oh, 100%. 100%. And it worked. And it was a masterstroke from him.
Hmm.
Now, Detroit, sometimes games happen like this, man. Like, I think I was telling Beau during the game, he was like, the Lions don't look so good. And I was like, yeah, it's going to be a full game. We got to wait a little bit. They'll probably come around. I thought they did come around a little bit, but, this time they couldn't overcome a severe turnover deficit. Dan Campbell, like everyone's gonna shit on him for like the fake punt call, and I understand why, but you gotta understand too, like it's Dan Campbell. He's gonna do Dan Campbell things. If he converts that fake punt, we're all calling him genius,
Hmm.
right?
Mhm.
So that's what I don't understand with a lot of fans will go after coaches for making certain fourth down decisions, but you gotta understand, like if they convert that, right, like you're gonna give the coach their props. And if they fail, you're gonna shit on the coach for it. It's ultimately execution. And like we already know that Dan Campbell, he's gone for those fake punts before. He ran a similar play against the Chiefs in week one. It was like our supposed to be our first punt attempt. Our own 17, he goes for a fake punt. People give him all the praise in the world for that because we convert it. Run a similar play against the Packers, we don't get it this time. And people give him shit for it. You got to pick one side. Like you either like an aggressive coach or you want more conservatism. But that's just Dan Campbell. He's going to go for it on fourth down. And some games they work and some games they don't. And that game, it just didn't work out. Defense, I've been saying the same shit about the defense since the beginning of the season. It's Aaron Glenn he's an average D coordinator. I would be okay with him leaving, but I wouldn't mind him staying either after this season.
Hmm.
I'm honestly pretty indifferent on AG. I think we could do better, but I don't think he's the root source of our defensive problems. We start Jerry Jacobs as our number 2 corner, right? Like we're not deep in the secondary. Aiden Hutchinson carries our D line, and even Hutch himself is kind of off lately, pressure wise. Of course, we can't get a lot of pressure. Alex Anzalone captains our defense. He's low-key been our best player. Alex fucking Anzalone. I respect the hell out of that guy. He's been a good player for us, but he's far from a stud,
He's
man.
not a star. He's not a
He's
star.
not a star, bro. Like when I think star linebacker, I think, prime Levante David, prime Bobby Wagner, Micah Parsons. That's who I think of. Luke Kuechly, bro. That dude was a stud when he played. That's a star linebacker. Alex Anzalone is serviceable. He cannot captain this team forever, man. He's a good voice in the locker room, but you cannot have him as your defensive captain. So many Lions fans give Aaron Glenn so much crap. The only game I will give Aaron Glenn full crap for is a Seahawks game that we played earlier this year. And the reason for that is because he put fucking James Houston in coverage and he let Will fucking Disley kick our ass for 20 plays that game. Like, no disrespect, Rob. Like, y'all.
No, you're right.
Like, y'all beat us fair and square, but if you're letting tight end delays to Will Disley go for 10 yards every single play. Y'all run the same play the whole game. Yeah, I'm going to shit on Aaron Glenn for that. That's not on the players. At some point as a coach, you have to adjust to Will fucking Disley. Dude, Will Disley, man, I'm sorry. Fucking rotten tight end. Like, for irrational reasons, I can't stand the dude. Fuck Will Disley, man. I'm tired of that guy. I'm glad he's
all right. We know what to get. We know what to get Daniel for Christmas.
I'm glad he's having a shitty year besides that game. I'm glad he is. I'm glad that y'all have trash tight ends because y'all just dicked us that game. Dicked us so much. Anyway, enough about that game.
That's really funny. That's your biggest gripe from that game is Will Disley. That's just funny
100%. 100%. Thanks, Beau.
You spelled it wrong, dog. No E.
But anyway, but the reason I bring that game up though is because that's the one game that I put squarely on Aaron Glenn. This game I do not put on Aaron Glenn. Like our players got exposed. They cannot cover the pass for shit. Right? Like
that's a team loss.
It's a team loss. Jared Goff, bro, he threw for 332 yards. That is the worst 300-yard passing performance I've ever seen from a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Jared Goff sucked, dude. Like, at least against the Bears, he was bad, but he was hot and cold. He had a lot of good drives that game, too. He couldn't do shit against the Packers, man. He had 2 terrible fumbles. He looked slow. The one game that our O-line has a bad game, he just can't do anything, man. And this game is the reason I've even been saying this for like a lot of the season too. Like I am not confident in giving him a long-term extension, even during his best game. Like he crushed it against the Chargers, for example. Still wasn't confident in giving him a long-term extension because he's just so limited as a quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we've seen all these quarterbacks lately get all these big deals. Like Daniel Jones is the biggest example. $45 million a year just to cripple the rest of your team. Right, because you don't have the cap space to bring some more players in.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know how I feel about Jared Goff getting an extension like that, and that conversation is going to come up. By this time next year, we're going to be talking about possibly giving him an extension, and I don't know how I feel about that. He's had some good games, yes, but when our O-line has a bad game every now and then, like we're having some injuries on the line now. O-line has a bad game. Running game was average, right? Receivers probably weren't perfect. Jared Goff, like to an extent, he kind of needs all these things to work in his favor, but nothing worked in his favor in that Green Bay game. And until they went into prevent defense, he didn't play well, man. Like he had a shitty 332-yard passing game. Like he was pure shit. Probably the worst game I've seen him play this year. And it kind of reaffirms my thoughts about the contract. I'm going to think the same way throughout the entire season. Even if he goes off for 500 yards and 6 touchdowns against the Saints next week, I'm still going to have the same thoughts about him because that probably means that our whole line showed up and protected the hell out of him. And Rob probably went off for like 100 yards. Montgomery and Gibbs probably went off for 100 yards each. But yeah, my overall point is that I'm not too enamored with a Goff extension at the moment. And I think overall, Lions are still good. We're still going to win the division. I'm not panicking. A lot of fans are probably going to do that. I'm not panicking. We're still the best team in this division by a mile. But what would be funny though? Fucking Jordan Love, this century or this decade's version of Rex Grossman. It would be so funny if he beat out the Vikings for the last playoff spot. That would actually be kind of hilarious. Vikings fans have been getting so cocky, man. Imagine losing out to Jordan Love. And shout out to him too, by the way. He did play a great game. He is not that guy. I still don't think he's that guy. and
You're
it'd be
not that guy,
hilarious.
pal. You're not that guy.
Exactly. It would be so hilarious, man. So hilarious if you pass the Vikings for that last playoff spot.
That would be awesome.
Careful what you wish for, Daniel. They're not out of it for the NFC North yet either.
Final
It would take
comment.
quite the comeback, but they're not out of it.
Final comment for this game. Green Bay's defense is actually pretty good. They have really good players.
Yeah.
I see why they hate Joe Barry because Joe Barry limits them. That should be a top 10 defensive unit. Joe Barry makes them bottom third.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Anyway.
I mean, you got Rashawn Gary, Jair Alexander, Darnell Savage.
Mhm.
They got ballers on that side of the
They have
ball.
ballers, man. Like you see when the talent overrides the coaching, but you also kind of see why that team's 5-6.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Yeah.
that's what I got for that game, boys. And with that, I think I'm gonna call it a night. It's getting late here.
All right, we'll let you
And
go.
yeah, that's all I got to say. Rob, hopefully you give a good synopsis for that Seahawks game.
Not much to give, my friend. I'll do the best I can, though.
Hopefully y'all can hold off the Packers and the Vikings some of these last playoff spots, but that's all I got, my friend.
Ooh, you got a tough schedule coming up, my friend.
But
Peace, Daniel.
fuck the Packers, fuck Will Disley, go Lions.
Have a good one. There he goes.
Perfect. We're moving on to. Well, that might sound like we're moving on from Daniel. No, Daniel will always be in our hearts. But we are moving on in this pod to Washington and Dallas. It's probably this in Miami, New
Cowboys
York.
beat
We probably
bad teams.
They do, and they do it very well, and they will continue doing it really well as long as they get bad teams on their schedule. Now, like we looked about earlier, they don't have a lot of bad teams left on their schedule to worry about, but yeah, they came out and they balled out and they performed.
Shout out Deron Bland for his 6th pick six this year.
Deron Bland is so good, man.
It must be something about just playing in that system.
Dan
Get a
Quinn
lot of
just gets
picks.
the most out of his corners everywhere he's been. He's gotten the most out of his corners. Even
I don't
AJ
know
Terrell
why
in
we didn't bring
Atlanta.
him back after
Mhm.
after he got fired.
Mhm. Yeah, actually, no. AJ Terrell in Atlanta. Never mind. He got fired midseason after they drafted him. My mistake. Arthur Smith got the most out of AJ Terrell in Atlanta, but he got most out of some other guys there, so that's okay. Yeah. Now Dan Quinn, he's always led solid defenses for sure.
All right, let's get
Maybe
to the
his last few
main
years in
event.
Atlanta weren't so great, but yeah.
Went how I expected. Defense outscored the offense. Pretty pathetic performance.
Great.
Yeah, horrible. Had to sit with the Niners fan at Thanksgiving, but it was a good time. Ate a lot of food. Huskies are rolling, so that mitigates my feelings about this. Hated seeing them eat the turkey on our field, though. That pissed me off so much. That's like the level of like, this is why I want Pete to go, because that is unacceptable. It's not that we lost. We didn't really put up a good fight. It was just pathetic display all around. Defense did better than the offense, but like they had no support. Shout out DS Grades, probably had the best game out of anybody. JSN. Okay, people comparing JSN to Odell, that was ridiculous, but that was a good catch. That's about it. Horrible. Slate did not play well. It did not what's the word? Live up. It did not provide entertaining football.
No, it did not. It did not. Hopefully you had the Egg Bowl on in the background.
Didn't. Well, of course I didn't, because we were watching that horrible game the whole time.
It's fair. There was some entertaining NBA basketball on last night, but this isn't a basketball pod.
This isn't a basketball person.
That's fair. That's fair. And then, like we already said, neither of us watched the Black Friday game because there was college football games on today that we were more interested in watching. I forgot this game was even on. I thought this game was at night, and then I heard that someone said it was final, and I was like, "Wait, I thought that was happening later."
Yeah, I know. I was surprised by that, and like most people would be shopping by then too. So like,
yeah.
Here's why. It's because they legally can't. It has to be before 3:30 Eastern kickoff because of college football. That's why the NFL was allowed to not have antitrust against it. Was that no Friday 3:30 Eastern or earlier kickoffs? So high school and college football were protected.
Interesting. I didn't know that. That's good to
I
know.
learned that. I
That's
learned that just the other day as well. Um,
that's dumb.
but yeah, no, we didn't watch basketball because none of us like basketball in my family either.
That's fair. That's fair. I straight up did not realize the Black Friday game was.
I completely forgot about it. I was too engrossed in Nebraska, Nebraska, Iowa. It felt like a different sport.
Yeah.
Especially when you had the other game on. That was a blowout. I forget who it was. Mizzou, Arkansas.
Or Mizzou, Arkansas. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, the lowest ever under, and it was still under.
It was still
Um,
under.
oh shoot, there's one more college. Oh wait, I think Lane might go to A&M. I'd like that.
I don't think so. I think he's chill at Ole Miss. I don't know.
I think
I mean, obviously,
he's got Ole Miss at their ceiling, man.
they do got money bags in A&M, that's for sure.
I just hope it's not DeBoer.
It won't be
It
DeBoer.
doesn't feel right. I think any
I think
rumors,
if it was going to be DeBoer, we would have already heard real speculation that was going to
yeah,
be him.
not just I know like a supposed insider for the Ducks said if the Huskies lose the Pac-12 championship, DeBoer's going to A&M, but it's like that doesn't seem right. I don't know
I
who
don't.
it's going to be though. Who's it going to be there? Is it like I know Trailer interviewed.
It'll be interesting to see because we're not quite because a lot of team seasons are still going. We're not in flight tracker season quite yet.
I just don't know the candidates either though.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll talk more about that in the college pod, but we do have some more picks. We are, let's see,
You're
quick
plus four.
refresh. I'm plus 4 on the season. Didn't have any changes from the Thursday or Black Friday games, so plus
We
4.
actually got all of the we got. Wait, no, we didn't get Packers right, but we got
We did not get the Packers right, but we got the other 3
two
right.
out of
These
three.
are
Yeah,
or blowouts, which the line suggested they would be. So there you go. Glad I didn't bite on the commies. I thought
I know.
about
I'm
it, but I
bummed
did
you
not.
didn't.
Yeah, so I'm still a +4 here. So we got New Orleans going to Hot Atlanta, taking on the Falcons, where the Saints are 1.5 point favorites. Derek Carr. I was gonna say some stat about how this is his first game ever in Atlanta. It might be. I might not be also. Who knows? But anyways, we got a good game here between the Saints and Falcons. Pretty evenly matched teams, and this is basically the way the Bucks have fallen off. This is basically for the
Mm-hmm.
NFC South. Will be these
Mm-hmm.
games down the stretch. So why don't you go ahead and take it away,
Oh
Mr. Joking and
gosh,
being an NFC team?
do I want to touch either of these teams right now? It's tough. This is so tough. Neither of these teams are good at covering. I'm gonna go better quarterback and take the Saints.
I agree. I agree. I'm thinking the same thing. I just can't trust any Desmond Ritter Falcons team right now.
Mm-hmm.
Or
I
Arthur
can't.
Smith Falcons team because I just know that they'll
Play
incorporate Johnny
Heineke.
Smith and Tanner Algier into the game plan brilliantly. Oh, sorry, is it still Heineke? I thought they were going back to Ritter now.
I know, I think they did. I'd rather have Heineke, to be honest.
Yeah, oh, I would rather.
Oh, this is gonna be an ugly game.
Yeah. Steelers going to
Oh,
Cincinnati.
Steelers.
Steelers 2 point favorites in the jungle. Bengals now led by Jacob Browning, former Folsom Bulldog, former Washington Husky, and now current Cincinnati Bengal. He ran the full gamut. He ran to the full bow gauntlet as far as all my teams go. But
Incredible.
I never thought I'd see the day, but here we are. Here we are. I honestly don't know where to go with this one because it's like I could see the Steelers not coming in with a good offensive game plan because they are the Steelers. And the Bengals surprising them a little bit because they do have the backup quarterback jump on them a little bit. But I just can't do that. I'll pick the Steelers -2 here.
Steelers have done me well this year. I'm gonna take them to cover. Um, It's going to be tough for Browning against a good pass rush.
Yeah, very tough. Hurt to say though. Panthers minus 3.5. Or sorry, Panthers going to Tennessee where the Titans are favored by 3.5. My bad. I screwed that up. Panthers just don't have a lot to stand on right now. They are just awful on pretty much all fronts. Titans aren't much
Rookie
better, but
QB
they're at
battle.
least competent. Yeah, this is a rookie QB battle. Where hey, Bryce Young is 1-0 in those so far,
Oh,
so
that's fun.
he's got a little bit of a stretch there, but that's his only win. Will he make it his only other win against Will Levis? I say no. Titans, I think cover. They probably win by like 9. I don't know. The Panthers are just so bad, man. So yeah, give me the Titans cover here.
Titans cover. Levis fanboy right here. I like that.
I don't even know if I'm a Titan. I'm just saying because the Panthers are just god awful. Bucks at Colts. Bucks are 2.5 point dogs in this one. Going on the road to Indianapolis here. Fun fact about this one. This is going to be a rare color versus color matchup.
Ooh,
And the Buccaneers will be wearing their pewter uniforms. The Colts will be wearing their standard um, home blues.
that's
So
fun.
fun fact there. You don't see that very often, so enjoy that.
Any reason for it? Just fun?
I guess just for fun. I don't know. I don't know why the Bucks didn't wear them at home because they only wear them once a year. So
Hmm.
I don't know why they didn't do that at home, but who knows? Um, Oh man, this one's actually tough. I think both these teams are pretty much right in line with probably about the same caliber team. You know what? Give me the Bucks in this one. I'm feeling spunky. I think they offense the Colts defense, I still just absolutely no faith in the Colts defense, even if they did go off against Tampa and they did do go against New England like 2 weeks ago. Um, It's a different this Colts team will one day just look like their defense will look absolutely horrible against PJ Walker, and the next week will be shutting down again. Carolina and New England aren't huge accomplishments, but the defense did play well in those games.
Hmm.
However, again, they just cut Shaq Leonard. I think that'll have a
Well,
big
he hasn't
impact
played.
on.
He's hasn't been the same ever since. There's a reason he cleared waivers.
No, I know, but I'm just saying I think that probably does have a little bit of a mental impact on the team.
Mhm.
Give me the Bucks. That's what I'm trying to say.
I
That's
I like the Bucks as well with points. I think the Bucks are a little better than the Colts.
Oh boy. Super Bowl preview.
Oh
Okay,
gosh.
like the tank bowl here. Patriots minus 3.5 against the Giants. Shoot, man, Patriots might be the worst team in football right now. Them are the Panthers. I think if you go to Tankathon right now, I think they are 1-2 right now on NFL Tankathon. Here we go. 2014 NFL or 2024. Nope, the Cardinals are still ahead of the Patriots for the second pick,
Wouldn't think that.
um but the Cardinals haven't even had their bye yet. So, and it's not this week.
Mm,
So the Cardinals have a late bye.
that is
Um,
late by.
but yeah, so the Patriots going on the road to the Giants here. Why don't you go ahead and take us away? It's an NFC game, so I'll let you suffer first.
Yeah, this is a tough one. I'm just gonna take the underdog here because of that. Because I think they're both equally bad. It's gonna be low scoring. I'd hammer that under. Look at that. 33.5 for the over under. Yikes.
Mhm,
So because it's gonna be low scoring, that 3.5 becomes bigger and bigger. So that's why I like the Giants as a dog.
mhm. I hate to be boring here, but I agree. I just think when two teams are both this bad, I don't see any reason that either team should be favored by that much. So yeah,
Hmm.
I agree. I mean,
Maybe
Giants
Belichick
minus
is
3.5.
bitter and goes against the just runs it up against them.
I don't think he could if he wanted to. So yeah. The Jaguar. Oh man. quiet game of the week right here. You know
This
the
should be prime time.
Texans.
This should be
Oh,
prime time.
this definitely should be prime time. Also, too, fun uniform matchup week. Texans wearing all reds, like head to toe reds. I know they
I
wore the
like
red
that.
helmet with the
I
color
like that.
rush that head to toe red.
I
I
like that.
love it. I
I
think it's
hope the
gonna
red
look
looks
so good.
good and they're not like Oregon State with the orange being off from the jersey orange.
Yeah, I agreed. But Texans playing good football, Jags playing good football. Texans or Jags favored by 1.5. I think the Texans win this game outright. So give me the Texans with the points here.
I'll take the Jags with 1.5.
There we go. We
I
finally
trust
got
in
a
Trevor.
difference.
Yeah.
Finally
I
got a
trust in
difference.
Trevor.
Trust
Uh,
in Trevor.
this is gonna be a fun one. I'm definitely gonna watch this game.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is
This
a
is a
preview for the next 10 years of the NFL.
yeah, honestly, or at least the AFC South. This actually is a fun uniform matchup week. I'm just looking at it right now. So, um, obviously Lions, Cowboys, Niners were throwbacks yesterday. Seahawks wore their action green.
I
Jets
love
wore
them.
their all black. Texans are wearing their battle red. The Saints are wearing their color rush gold number with the black helmets. The Falcons are wearing
Those are
their
good. Those are really
throwbacks.
good. Those are really good.
Bengals are wearing their orange jerseys. Bucks wearing the pewter. Cardinals wearing the all black, which I saw in person, look very nice. Eagles wearing their Kelly green. Chargers rocking the navy on Sunday Night Football, and the Vikings are wearing their
I like the
throwbacks
Chargers
on
navy
Monday
because it
night.
really makes the
Hmm.
electricity pop.
Oh yeah, the yellow. Yeah, I
Hmm
agree. I agree. But fun, fun weekend for alternate uniforms,
It'd be
if that's
cool if
something
the
you're into.
Chargers did a navy helmet with that too.
That would be cool. I mean, you got the alternate helmets now,
I
so make it
know. I
happen,
think that'd
LA.
be a fun one.
Um, but we're speaking now on two teams that will not be wearing any alternate uniforms.
Honestly, I think Brown should stick with the white face mask.
I do too. I think they should make
It
that
looked
permanent.
good. It looked good.
Definitely look good.
I don't like
Browns.
gray face masks. I think they're the ugliest color of face masks out there.
Well, the Browns have brown face masks.
It's gray.
See if I can find a picture. I think the most recent pictures will probably be from the Steelers game. So,
Fuck.
nah,
White's better anyways.
it is better. The whites always look better. But anyway, speaking on the Browns, they go to Denver. Broncos are 1.5 point favorites here in the Mile High City.
This will be
Give
a
me the
fun one.
Broncos. Their defense has been playing a lot better. Their offense is, no, I wouldn't say humming, but it's doing enough. And I still just don't trust DTR. I mean, he only put up 13 points. Let's not act like he had some like amazing performance. He put up 13 points against the Steelers. Like, do I think the Steelers defense is better than the Broncos defense? Yes, of course I do. Don't get me wrong, but it's on the road in Denver, hostile conditions, and this is
November.
Broncos team November, and this Broncos team is just playing good football. So give me the Broncos -1.5 here.
I'm taking the Browns with the points.
Okay. All right. There you go.
Um, I like that defense. That's a defense that's gonna be tough on Russ.
Mm-hmm.
And the Broncos defense is bad, so I think maybe they'll be able to keep pace. No Kareem Jackson either. I can't believe he's still in the league.
He's been in around forever, man.
And he got his second 4 game suspension.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Soon enough, he'll be getting the Vontaze Burfict lifetime ban.
Does he have a lifeline? Lifetime?
Yes, yeah, or indefinite suspension that's still not been lifted after almost 5 seasons. So it's basically, yeah.
Wow.
Yep. Rams
Oh, this is me.
going to the Cards. Rams favored by 2. Go ahead, Rob.
Yuck. Give me the Rams here. Rams got some confidence going off of a dub against the Seahawks.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Give me the Rams. I know I was hyping up the Cards earlier in this episode, but It's not even that I don't think the Cardinals are spunky, but I just need to see it first. I need to see a little bit more consistently. If they
Mm.
beat the Rams, I'll go a long way towards
Hmm.
me picking them in future pods.
Oh yeah.
Chiefs going to
Hmm.
Vegas,
This is Sunday
taking
Night
on.
Football.
So no, the Cardinals or not, sorry, Ravens Chargers is Sunday Night Football.
Oh, that's Eastern. I thought that was Mountain. My bad.
Oh yeah. No, this is Eastern. Yeah, Chiefs at Raiders. Raiders at home. Chiefs are gonna be pissed off after last week, and the Raiders are also just kind of bad. So give me Chiefs -9 here.
I'm gonna take Raiders +9. Divisional game.
Wow. Okay.
This is ballsy, but nine's a lot with how the Chiefs O's played lately.
That's true. That's true. All I'm thinking is, hey, you only need to win by 2 touchdowns, and I think the Chiefs, even with everything going on, can win by
Hmm.
2 touchdowns against the Raiders. So,
Oh, this is a good
oh,
Sunday Night Football. This is a
Bills.
good Sunday night. Oh,
This
oh,
isn't
wait, no.
Sunday Night
I was
Football
looking at
though.
the next one. I was looking at the next
Yeah,
one.
Ravens Chargers is a good Sunday night game, but
This is another
Bills.
good game though, too.
It's a great late afternoons game here. Bills, Eagles, in Philly.
Oh, that's gonna
Eagles
be
favored by
hostile.
3.
I want the Eagles here. I think they can just
Mm-hmm.
control the game, especially with their running game and
Mm-hmm.
their RPO game. I like the Eagles with -3 here.
I agree. I agree. I think careful to say the Bills are back after they absolutely torched the Jets. Remember that is the Jets. Eagles are a different beast. So, yep, I agree. Give me the Eagles here. Um,
This is gonna be a fun one.
yeah,
That's a good Sunday
Ravens,
Night Football.
Chargers, high flying here. I mean, Lamar versus Herbert and all that fun stuff. So, um, Ravens going across the country, take on the Chargers, obviously, favored by 3.5 points. I still just do not trust this Chargers team, man. So, give me the Ravens -3.5.
Yeah, Chargers are having a rough time right now, just
Mm-hmm.
in general. Um, I'm going Ravens here as well. They look like the best team in football,
Yep, agreed, agreed.
and they're coming off rest.
And they got the mini buy. They got the mini buy, whereas the Chargers have to deal with all the questions of what's going on with Brandon Staley. So, and speaking of Staley, Staley the Bear goes up to Minnesota to take on. That was a good transition, actually.
Who's
I
Staley
was
the
proud.
Bear?
It's the Bears mascot.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah, hold on. I just want to confirm so I'm not an idiot. Yep, Staley the Bear.
Wow, I never knew that. That's
Man, I
awesome.
feel good. Amazing site. That might be segue of the year
That's
right
segue of the
there.
year. That is segue of
Yeah.
the year.
Um,
I hope Brandon Staley was a Bears assistant.
was he?
Yeah,
Hold on.
under Fangio.
I want to say you're right. I'm pretty sure you are right, but I just want to confirm. Yep. Also serves as assistant coach for the Denver Broncos and Chicago
He was
Bears.
their linebackers coach.
There you go. There you go. Well, maybe they'll hire him after they fire
He's a good DC.
Eberflus. No, I mean they'll hire him as the head coach because
Oh
they just make
gosh.
dumb head coaching hires in House Hall. Um, but yeah, here we go. Bears going to Minnesota, taking on the
Eberflus is a good
Vikings.
DC, but that was always a weird hire to me.
He's just not a head coach, and I think most people would recognize that. But yeah, older already and coordinated good defense. Don't get me
Well,
wrong.
10 like five years ago, he's a normal age for a new head coach.
Sure. But he got hired 2 years ago.
Give me 7 years ago.
Um, but anyways, Bears going to Minnesota. Take it away, Mr. Joking.
I'm gonna take Vikings -3 here. It's so funny that Vikings have a bunch of prime time because they totally wanted to see Justin Jefferson,
Mm-hmm.
and we get Josh Dobbs.
Josh Dobbs. And no Justin Jefferson. But I agree. Nope, give me the Vikings there. So that makes our differences. Chiefs Raiders. I've got
Hmm.
the Chiefs. Browns Broncos. I've got the Broncos. And Jags Texans. I've got the Texans.
All AFC matchups.
There you go. Yeah, it's fun stuff. Fun stuff. Well, that's it. That's it for NFL Week 12. Fun slate.
Yeah, I
Um,
think so.
I think if nothing, it'll be a great uniform slate, and that's always fun to see. But yeah. Oh, I just saw that Jalen Phillips got hurt.
I don't want to
Oh,
see
that's a
that. I heard it was
bummer.
nasty.
That's a bummer. No, I'm not gonna find a video. That's a bummer
It was
though.
an
So,
Achilles, and you could see it get. You could see it worse than
oh
A-Rod, is what I
gosh.
was told.
Oh, that's a bummer. That's a
Yeah.
bummer. Well, yeah. All right. Well, sorry to end on a sour note there, NFL fans, but that is it for the West Coast Draft Podcast. Thank you as always, Daniel Lisenbee, for joining us to cover
Hmm.
NFL and specifically Detroit Lions. Mr. Jokinen, do you have any closing remarks?
If one of us don't watch NFL Black Friday, all of us don't watch NFL Black Friday. If one of us click like, all of us click like. If one of us click subscribe, all of us click subscribe. Thanks for